Hey, it's Corrina, your virtual health coach, and today I want to make a video all about salads. So we all know that we should be eating more salad, so I just want to give you some really clear, simple guidelines, tips and tricks you can use to make your own salads really, really delicious and healthy. Because the most important thing about making salads is that you actually eat it after you make it. So I want to share with you the tips and tricks I've learned. I'm going to show you one of my favorite salads, which is actually a kale salad. So if you bought some of this and you have no idea what to do with it, I'm going to teach you today how to enjoy this kale in a delightful salad. Be sure to let me know where you're at salad-wise. Would you say that you eat more like 1 to 2 salads a week? Or 3 to 5 salads a week? Or 0 goose egg salads per week? I would love to know where you stand. It helps give me an idea of what types of videos to make for y'all. And I just kind of love hearing from you and knowing where you're at with your health. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll be sure to click that little notification bell so that you can always be notified of our new videos. Thank you for clicking, and let's make some salad. A couple of simple culinary guidelines that will help you get more of a restaurant feel, even when you're making food at home, are to consider things like adding as many different flavor profiles as you can. So things that are sweet, things that are savory. If you start looking at a lot of your favorite menu items, you'll start noticing that a lot of them have sweet and spicy, or sweet and sour. So taking 2 of those different flavors and putting them together is really great. An example would be adding things like grapes and strawberries to your salad. I also love adding blueberries to my salad, and you can really get creative here. But using some fruit in your salad is a great way to add a little bit of sweetness and add some nutritional benefits. Now, another thing, if you're making your own salad dressings, that I encourage you to keep in mind is that if you're used to eating regular restaurant salad dressings, they contain a lot of salt. A lot of them contain a lot of sugar. So if you're making your own salad dressing, a good thing to do is to, once again, include some of that sweetness and maybe include some salt as well. So I have here my Himalayan salt crystals. I've talked a lot about using Himalayan sea salt in your cooking. It gives you more minerals than your regular iodized salt, so it's actually going to help to satisfy your salt cravings more. And then to use some kind of a healthy sweetener. So I have some maple syrup here. You can see I've used all my maple syrup. That's how much I love it. I also have some honey. So honey and maple syrup are great examples of natural sweeteners. Right? They haven't been processed, they haven't been refined. This means that not only can your body digest them more easily without getting a big insulin spike, but they also give you lots of B vitamins and minerals, and you actually get nutrients from them. So some source of sweetness like maple syrup or honey. Another great thing is using vinegar. So most of your salad dressings will contain oil and vinegar in addition to other ingredients. So I have some balsamic vinegar here. That's your really dark, flavorful vinegar, but you can also use plain white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. Just remember that a little goes a long way. So you can just start with a little bit of those vinegars and always add more to taste if you want, but just know that if you put too much vinegar, you're gonna ruin your salad. And then the last component is some kind of oil. So I'm gonna be using coconut oil in my kale salad, which I'll show you here shortly. But you can also use cold pressed olive oil. It would be really fantastic. Avocado oil can be really great in salads too. Or if you use something like flaxseed oil, now you're getting a lot of those great omega-3 benefits as well. So using a healthy oil and making your own dressing is going to be a really good way to make sure that you're not getting high fructose corn syrup, added colors, added sodium, and all of these other things that are in a lot of the store-bought dressings. However, I will say that it's better for you to eat a salad with store-bought dressing than no salad at all. So you just got to figure out, what is going to work best for you. What is the best case scenario for you actually eating this salad? And if it's ranch dressing and bacon bits, so be it. The next tip is about the greens that you use in your salad. Now, I've been eating salads, green juices, green smoothies, raw kale for almost 10 years. And I'm basically to the point where my body craves these foods. I totally love them. And so for me, I buy the super greens. All right, so this actually has spinach, arugula, looks like some Swiss chard. But you just should understand that the darker the green, the more pungent the flavor will be. So if you're kind of a beginner to salads and this is something new for you, you probably don't want to be opting for kale and super greens. You're probably going to have a much more palatable salad if you opt for, regular lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is probably the least flavorful. But again, you can always work your way up to the more powerful, dark leafy greens. But just know that if you're kind of new to eating salads and you're immediately going for these, you're probably going to feel that they're a little bit bitter at first. I'll just let you know that your taste buds will adapt. As you continue to add more of these healthy foods into your diet, your body will learn to crave these healthier foods. And as you remove all the processed junk from your diet, the added colors, added flavors, MSG, all of those things that kind of just confuse the heck out of your taste buds, the more that you reduce those processed foods in your diet, your tastes will start to come back into a more natural state. And their natural state is to crave the healthy foods and to enjoy the taste of things like salads. So just want to give that little disclaimer for those of you who are feeling like, oh, salads are horrible, I can't eat them. Maybe just opt for a lighter green. So in the same way that we were thinking about putting in varying flavors like sweet, salty, and spicy, you can also think about putting in varying textures. So having things that are crunchy in your salad is really, really satisfying for me. So a couple of examples. Radishes. Radishes are great because they also have a very strong, almost spicy flavor. So again, this could be something that you're like, ooh, radish is disgusting. Well, then don't put it in your salad. No big. But if you kind of like radishes, then this is a great example of something to give your salad some crunch. Celery. This is probably something that goes in pretty much every salad that I make because I love that super awesome crunch you get. Awesome. Celery is super healthy, super loaded with electrolytes, super loaded with water. Another great thing to add to salads would be nuts. So things like almonds, walnuts, pecans. You, again, can really get creative with what you want to add, but this is a great way to add some crunch. You're also adding some extra protein and healthy fats to your salad when you sprinkle on some walnuts or almonds. Another great thing to remember with your salads is that if you can add healthy sources of fat, again, nuts are a great example, then that's also going to help that salad to really fill you up. So one of my favorite examples is an avocado. Avocado is great because it can make the salad really creamy if you mix it up with your dressing, or you can just use chunks of avocado. Really, really is a great way, again, to make that salad even more filling and even healthier. You can also do things, just getting into little extras to add to your salads. Things like mint are a really great little extra flavor to add. I also have some cilantro over here that I can add. And it's just a great way to, put in as many different flavors as possible. You also want to make sure that you include some kind of citrus, especially if you're using really dark leafy greens like kale and spinach. Having some citrus like lime or lemon in your salad will help your body digest and break down those leafy greens even more. So that's another great little tip. You can also use lemon or lime in place of vinegar if you don't have one of the vinegar products that I went through. So those are some of my always on hand items. Okay, so let's make this kale salad and put all of these little tips and tricks into practice. So there's a lot of great stuff that you can do with kale, and I think that I'll probably do a whole video on kale sometime because it's actually one of my favorite things to eat, and it's so healthy, you can feel really good about eating it. So I'm just gonna start by taking my kale, which I've thoroughly washed, and just pulling the leaves away from the stem. I also kind of will just break them up, usually with my fingers, although obviously you could use a knife if you wanted it to be neater. The stem itself is pretty bitter, pretty strong, so you probably don't want to include that in your salad until you've gotten, just really into kale. But then if you have a juicer or you make smoothies, then you can actually save the kale stems, throw them in your juicer or throw them in your smoothies because they still contain a lot of nutrients. I'm just gonna set these aside. Got a pretty good amount of kale here. My next step is going to be adding some, let's do lime for this one. So if you kind of squeeze the lemon or lime a little bit before you cut it open, we'll have even more juice there for you. So I'm just gonna squeeze this lime over. Limes are kind of nice because they don't have big seeds in them like lemons do. If you were to just squeeze a lemon like this, you'd be squeezing lemon seeds all over your salad. You can use either a fork to stop them from coming through, or you can even squeeze it through your hand and catch the seeds in your hand if you do use a lemon. Or squeeze it into another glass and then pour it in. So this is actually a pretty small amount of kale here, so I'm just using half a lime. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of sea salt here. So this is probably, I don't know, maybe like half a teaspoon. Sprinkle that over. And then now comes the fun part. So I'm gonna take some of this coconut oil. It's hot in Texas, so my coconut oil is already somewhat liquidy. I'm just gonna pour a little bit over here. If you were measuring, maybe go with, I don't know, a teaspoon to start, and then you can always add more later. Make sure that your hands are clean because now comes the fun part. We're gonna give our kale a massage. And I think the coolest thing about this is that what looked like a really gigantic amount of kale salad, it was like, whoa, who's gonna eat all that kale salad? Once you give it a little massage with the coconut oil, sea salt, and lemon or lime, it's about half in size of what it was a minute ago. Breaking it up manually with your hands like this also makes it easier to digest. So if you feel like you don't digest raw kale very well, you can try this method. And like I said earlier, this is one of those dark leafy greens. So, some people just don't do well eating kale, but I love it. I love it. I eat it all the time. So for me, I would just eat this just like this. I'd be like, woohoo, my salad's ready. But to make it a little bit more fun, I have some celery here that I've prepped. I'm gonna throw in my celery. Remember, that gives me my good crunch. And then I also have some strawberries that I already chopped up. I'm gonna sprinkle some strawberries over. Awesome. Grapes, another thing that I just love in my salad. This may go without saying, but I also will just pay attention to the salads that seem really appealing to me on a menu somewhere and then recreate them. So when you see like the feta, walnut, and balsamic strawberry salad, and you're like, oh, that sounds so good. Just buy some feta, some strawberries, make your own salad. I've definitely stolen a lot of my favorite recipes from the menu of my favorite restaurants. No shame in that. So this is a delightful salad. I'm actually really hungry right now and really excited to eat this salad when I get done. And then I would just add that, if you wanted it to be spicy, I would use a little bit of this cayenne pepper powder. A little goes a long way. Be careful with it. I also typically will add things like turmeric to salads. Turmeric is wonderful because it's a very, very strong anti-inflammatory, but it has a really mild flavor. It doesn't have a strong, strong taste. So it's something that you can kind of add to salad dressings, to soups, to casseroles, to whatever, and it's not gonna overpower the flavors of the other things you have going on. I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of a kick with just a little touch of this cayenne. There's just so much awesome stuff you can do with kale. Make a kale salad, steam some kale. Just a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan, a little bit of, basically what we did here, coconut oil, lemon, sea salt, and steam it. You could take your massaged kale from the salad and lay it out on a cookie sheet and make kale chips, which are really good. Throw it in a blender, throw it in your juicer. So versatile, so awesome, so healthy. I really hope that this video has inspired you to make a salad or go to a restaurant and eat a salad that somebody else made for you. I don't really care. I just would love it if you eat more vegetables. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this little video. Remember to click that little bell so that you can be sure to see me again in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic rest of your day.
We at WellnessPLUS specialize in all things health and wellness, ranging from yoga and fitness to massage and ASMR. Whether you are looking to target specific areas of tension or want to enhance your general self-care routine, we provide the tools you need to feel better, look better, and live better. We have courses for every level, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro. Our courses provide a wide range in difficulty to accommodate your evolving flow.
Welcome back to Yoga with Jess. We are going to break down some really essential postures.
We are going to rock out with some of the most essential ab exercises that you need to have the abs that you've always dreamed of.
I've blended techniques to help you connect with students, and you can be a rock star teacher.
WellnessPLUS is available on Amazon, which you can stream from your home on your phone, tablet, or TV. Join WellnessPLUS today and get your first 7 days free.